What's going on, guys? Sheldon here for the Malir Bros, and this is Last Day on Earth. So, we're here at the Hidden Garden. Looks like everything has closed up for what I believe to be the, was it Chinese New Year, I believe? So, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna check out, hopefully my rewards are still there, hopefully I didn't screw this up. But basically, I wanted to do a bit of a summary in terms of what was going on in the game, and so just gonna basically comment on this stuff before we leave. So we've got 17 minutes. All right, so deadline is very, very close. So as you guys can see, I got a lot of items here, and yeah, see, so they're saying that the event ended. Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna allow me to take all this stuff. There we go. So anyway, the event, I would say it went pretty well. Wasn't too bad. Yeah, they're not gonna let me do that. I don't know if they're actually gonna allow me to claim anything. Yeah, I can't get anything else. So anyway, updates in an hour. So what we're gonna do, I'm going to put this stuff back. But the event was pretty good. However, I found that there was just so much rice and so many, rice stems and rice seeds. You got way too many. I actually threw some out, to be completely honest. It was just way too many. They would give you some in a bag, and then you'd have to cook it on the rice, I don't know, rice block or whatever. And you would have to basically keep an eye on it. You'd have to constantly come back with either wood or charcoal to keep it burning, to cook the rice. And one of the events had basically what was called the big one. And the big one was, I think, number 4. The first one was easy. The second one was relatively easy. One of them was a bear. And the third one, I think, was also... I mean, it wasn't easy. It was challenging. However, the items that you needed to bring... I mean, I don't have any of them as examples now. I can't show you guys. However, I wasted... I don't know how many resources on the big one. I could not beat him. I got him down to about 80 health, I believe. And unfortunately, I just couldn't beat him. I didn't have enough of the special weapons that you needed for an advantage against him and other creatures and other zombies in this event, which was really unfortunate because I ended up wasting just so many things there. I think I lost a puppy as well because I accidentally brought him, and yeah, I think I lost a puppy as well in the process. And yeah, it just didn't go very well for that 4th guy who looks very much like the big one who chases you out of some of the locations on the map. So if this event comes back, maybe just keep that in mind. You know, that's just how my experience went. I know this is probably going to be very out of date. Like, this is going to be an old event by the time you guys are watching it, because this is simply me giving you guys an update on how mine went. However, we've got Valentine's Rush. I'm supposed to go around and collect, I don't know, Valentine's Day cards, I believe. So I don't know how well that's going to go. Port Laboratory, Fishing Tournament. I think we had yeah, it's already gone. The Supply Drop one. A lot of these I'm just kind of skipping over just because I'm kind of at the tail end of this series. And here we go. So this is how far I was able to make it. So there you go. So you get a free weapon at the beginning. So Guandao. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that close anyway. So a combination of the best combat features of a sword, axe, spear, hook, and pole, damage against centuries-old armor. So basically you had specialty weapons to be using. And I think that one allowed you to have some sort of range. And at the very end of the event, it says, So it says, help us get ready for the celebration and defeat Naihan, and I won't stint on gifts. Naihan is also, I believe, the big one, and it might have been the same dude at one of the locations elsewhere on the map that was related to this event. And again, that guy he took me out, I don't know, I think 4 times. So, and even at the end, I mean, you end up having, I think, 6 warriors helping you out defeat him. And I almost died because when I came to this location, you're basically, you go to talk to the sage, and then he forces you to turn around, and you're not able to prepare. You weren't able to get proper weapons, food, bandages, whatever. I wasn't able to prepare for it because they don't give you any warning. So that was really unfortunate because I almost died in basically the last event for this special event. So that was kind of annoying, almost dying again. And the bonus, obviously, was all these goodies here, so you guys can see all the things that I've got. And some of them, I don't even know where these genomes go. Infected genomes, I don't even know where they go. I have been collecting them apparently, but they're nowhere to be found. So the green check marks are where I'm at right now. So the field kitchen, this is one of the things that I missed at the Christmas event. So I'm finally going to get that one now. And I'm going to get all the way up to the machete. So I'm going to take all those items. So there we go. All those things are there. And yeah, see, lotus root. I mean, I still got quite a bit. I even have some other items, to be completely honest. Let's see. So I got grenade, shotgun, Colt Python, mini Uzi, neutralizer, protector. I thought I had another protector somewhere, but maybe I don't. So the protector, the paddle is always a funny item. Glock 17, those are pretty reliable. I like having those around. Winchester, I found the Winchester wasn't the greatest. It's actually really slow for reloads. And then a bunch of different items. Obviously essential items. The red tortoise cake, rice seeds, and wherever the other one was, yeah, lotus root. Those ones will be disappearing in 10 minutes. So again, we are cutting it very, very close right now. But I'm going to go to my bags. Yeah, I think I have to go back home in order to change that out. I could be wrong, but I think I have to go home in order to change that out. Yeah. Yeah, I think I have to go home to change the skin on that. But anyway, this was a overall pretty cool event, but was a little bit challenging near the end. And the only thing I really missed out on, obviously the armor, the military armor, the gas would have been nice. This would have been pretty sweet. Eastern Gourmet, really cool skin. I like how they use the tire to make a shield for his arm. That's pretty sweet. Very creative and resourceful on that. His arm is all bandaged up there, so a little bit of protection. But definitely, I don't know if it's... I think it's the Chinese New Year. I could be wrong. But obviously, some riot gear would have been nice. This thing would have been pretty cool, although I'm not disappointed that I didn't get it. And of course, Sakura Seedling. I think it would have been cool if I had gotten one of those. And that would have been it. So, not too far off. I'm actually pretty happy with the results. However, actually, I'll show you guys around here. So, you got the koi fish, I believe, and the water. This dude sold you everything. You have to run around this whole event. You can collect, I don't know, pieces of wood and and whatnot around here and there. And this, I don't know what's in here. Yeah, I don't need those. That's kind of pointless. And then this warrior, she would actually fight you. She was actually relatively easy. It didn't take a whole lot to beat her in a fight. So you'd hit this gong and then fight her. So anybody who competed in this event, obviously you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But anybody who didn't, who's just kind of curious in this kind of roundup episode of the event, you know, it's pretty cool. Rewards select chest, how it works. The chest is your reward for completing seasonals. Select desired item and hit claim. If you don't know what you want, choose auto select. Alright. I mean, the series is coming to a close, but a baseball bat. I kind of like weapons. I feel like I can just, you know, make whatever else. So I'm going to go with the baseball bat. Yeah, why not? So, yeah, how long have I been playing this? I'm playing it for a while. So here's the thing. Craft fur trousers, boots, and torch. I didn't have enough resources for these earlier. And of course, they want you to go to the cold region. So I'm going to show you guys this in just a second as to why I've kind of come to a halt in this series. Alright, so again, that event had random locations. One right here in the center of the screen, just to the bottom, lower right of Limestone Spires. So just to the right of that one, they had a... that's where the big one was. They killed me 4 times in a row, more or less. And then there was one to the lower right hand on a diagonal from the house location. So just on a diagonal to the right. And then it had random ones. So depending on where the locations were, so different locations like Limestone Ridge, all the different ones. And they would be marked. Basically kind of like with Pine Grove here has the choppers there. It's indicating that the thieves are there. I can't remember what those guys are called at the moment. I'm forgetting. But the Raiders, I believe. Yeah, so the Raiders, I believe, is what they're called. The guys that stole the caps, I believe, are called Raiders. Having a little bit of a brain fart right now, clearly. But yeah, this... I mean, there's so much going on. The PD, I might go back to the PD. I think I have some chests that I can open. A Bunker Alpha, I have some fingers that I can use to unlock the gate. So I can get some more goodies there. However, kind of closing the series out. And, I mean, this is all done, right? That event is going to be closed in about, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes now. I've been to the Crooked Creek Farm. I've been to the motel numerous times as well. I also checked out the abandoned factory. I don't know why, but I can't get in there for some reason. The port, that one I'm going to talk about in just a minute. And I'm ignoring the commune because I did it already. I just don't have any interest in it right now. And then, of course, there's a destroyed convoy if I want to go and do that again. And then you see the hearts. All the hearts are around the locations where you can collect the Valentine's Day cards. And again, the transport hub, you need a drone. So I don't have any drones, so I can't access that, unfortunately. And this frozen location, all of this, Again, I can't complete... Where is it? I can't complete all this list. I don't have enough of the items to actually go up there and withstand and endure the cold region. So that would be a little bit of a grind. Not to say that I could never do it. However, the thing that kind of bugs me is that I'm not able to do expeditions or the settlement unless I do the previous chapter, which to me is kind of annoying. I would prefer to just, do them in whatever order I want, provided that, it doesn't screw anything up. So it's a little bit unfortunate. I would really prefer to have the option to skip over the northern region and go right to expeditions or settlement, because the settlement is already on the screen right here, but I'm not allowed to access it unless I go north and freeze my butt off, which I'm not able to do. And the other thing I'm not able to do right now is explore the sewer at the port. However, I'm very, very close to making a boat. So I'm going to go back to base, remind you guys of what I've got going on, and then we will say farewell. Alright guys, so the one thing I want to mention, I don't know if I did it already, but I want to reiterate how cool this game really truly is. Had a lot of fun playing it, and based on when the scheduling was, you guys are going to be basically watching this for almost an entire year, and that is a very long time for me to be playing. Basically, I played it just as many times as I possibly could. I'm going to go through all the items that I've collected, how I've kind of organized everything, and you guys can see all that. And then, of course, I've got resources there, and then I got the bench that I use them on. And then I got the radio room, all the different things located around here, all those goodies. Random bits there. Yeah, so some of these coupons, if I can use the coupons, I will probably use them. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But I'm definitely... I'll just put that on there. So I'm definitely, leaving. I won't be playing the game any longer after this. But hopefully, the things that I've done, the mistakes that I've made, whatever, the events that I've competed in, the different, challenges and whatnot. I'm hoping that it helps you guys out if you continue to play this game beyond, because I'm moving on. Yeah, like I said, I got 3 fingers there, so I can get some chests at Bunker Alpha for that. Never ended up using my Kansas spray paint, unfortunately. But, I mean, I've got just so many goodies. I don't know why I have so many of those. And that chest is a spare one. And the garden, my walls. I have a feeling that if I stop playing, the zombies are probably going to take all my walls down, but as you can see, I haven't really bothered fixing them properly. So for all of you guys who were suggesting that I don't bother building them, don't worry. I stopped maintaining them. And the doogies, I have so many of these. This is just an absurd amount. This is the only thing that I think is not realistic in the game, is just that I would not be able to keep that many dogs alive. There's just not enough food to go around. I would end up starving, or they would end up starving. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. It's just not realistic in regards to the dogs. The bike, really, really cool. Super happy with that element in the game. That was the goal, right? To build the bike, and I got to do that. So that goal was completed. And the only other thing that's really holding me up right now is... where is it? This. So the electric generator is the only thing holding me back from doing the sewers at the port and potentially getting a boat. Where is the boat? The boat... I should be able... actually... or no, it was right there. Yeah, so the boat, I need one more steel plate in order to get the boat, and one more aluminum plate. So super close to getting the boat. However, I don't know if I need a boat motor as well. Motorboat and boat engine, you might need both. I don't know how it works. But I'm waiting on that. I need 10 fuel canisters, which technically I believe I've got those kicking around somewhere. Yeah, I've got 14 of them. However, you know, going into the sewer, there's no real point in me doing that right now. Especially since I'm ending this series right now. So this is just a final recap for you guys. So if you guys have any comments or questions, you can leave them down below for me. And again, I really, really enjoyed the game, but you know, this is where I'm at. I'm gonna kind of just leave it here for the time being. I would consider coming back at some point. However, I'm just gonna save the game. You know, I'm gonna save it to my account or whatever it is that I got to do, and then if for some reason I decide to come back, I will. But this is going to be the last episode ever, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed it. You know, this was a very long series, probably the longest and biggest series on the channel to date, and I'm hoping that something else ends up surpassing it. You know, it was relatively positive. You guys gave me a lot of feedback. I really appreciated that. And believe me, every single comment I read and I took it into consideration. So, yeah. I'm starting to lose my voice here because this is probably a little long-winded. But we're on to something new. I don't know if that something new is going to start officially after the end of this series, or if I'm going to start it early, depending on what it is. Yeah, it's just going to vary. You know, Aaron and I have a lot of things on the go, and so it's just a matter of time before you guys see new content or different content on this channel. And we're keeping the comments in mind. Obviously, you guys leaving certain comments are contributing to us, you know, changing things up a little bit and making things better, you know, making improvements and whatnot. So again, leave your comments down below for us. We do read all of them. I know Aaron might not get to all of the mechanic related ones, but I do remind him occasionally to log in to answer your guys' questions, because I'm more of the video game guy and the manager of the channel at the moment. So we'll kind of see how things go, but that's it. I don't want to ramble anymore. Again, this game was really, really fun. I hope you guys check it out and enjoy it just as much as I did. And again, this isn't necessarily me saying I'm never playing the game again, but it's, you know, pretty good odds that I won't. In the near future anyway, just because there's so many other things that I want to do on the channel. But definitely enjoyed this game, and I hope you guys find it entertaining. And so if you guys did, make sure to smash that like button so I know that it's working. Comments and questions, leave them down below. And of course, be sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss out on future content on the channel with the Malaria Bros, Aaron, and me, Sheldon. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.